What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review. This is Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 5. I think it's Episode 5, child. I don't know. I think it's Episode 5. Y'all almost didn't get this video. Okay, my channel is called My Twisted Life of TV. And it's basically titled that because my life stories can sometimes intertwine with the actual TV show. Sometimes the TV show affects me in a way that it affects my real life, my mental state, and this episode did it for me. I was disturbed the entire freaking episode. Absolutely disturbed. There's a lot of sleeping with kids going on, family members. I don't care if it was one person. It's just too much for me. Now I know that the show writers wanted to wait until Alicent and Rhaenyra were both 18 years old before they actually showed us the physical act of them having sex. It's still too much for me. Still too much for me. It took me 3 days to finish this episode. On top of the fact, I still have to review The Handmaid's Tale. And I was like, I already know The Handmaid's Tale finna be heavy. And I already got this shit on my back too. So yeah, y'all almost didn't get it. Well, the search for Princess Rhaenyra's hand in marriage continues. She had a line of suitors out there, child. They all at her throne trying to convince her of why they the best match for her. It's this Danish lord that's about 1,000 years old out there who had an attraction to her great grandmother who was there asking for her hand in marriage. Like, fool, you should know damn well you too old for me. And Rhaenyra said that too. I do find it very interesting though that a lot of period piece type of shows, whether they be fantasy or more historically based, they always try to justify the marriages of children or the families sleeping with each other, the taboo of the family sleeping with each other. And in this particular household, it seems to be a point of contention. Although we know, just based being a Game of Thrones watcher, that the Targaryens, this was something natural to them. So the fact that the King Viserys and Rhaenyra all like, oh my God, that's my cousin. Oh my God, that's my uncle. Oh my God, he's too young. The fact that they are really stressing that, like they wasn't down with it, is really shocking to me, for real. Okay, anywho, so she looked stunning in that red dress she had on doing her little ceremony, right? I had speculated that she was going to be betrothed to Sir Cole. That was my speculation. But I was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen here. We up next after the old man, like dust blows away, we get somebody who's now a child, or who Rhaenyra even considers a child. Remember, like I said, she's just 18. We 4 years now. Every time we come back from an episode, so it's got to be episode 4, maybe 5, because every time we come back, some more time has passed, and then now it's 4 years past since Queen Emma's death. Okay. Her advisor's like, look, don't be too hasty. This kid is from good stock. He good stock. I don't know who this advisor is. We ain't seen him before, as far as I can remember. And I'm like, who is he? Shut the hell up, okay? And some asshole from the sidelines kept on heckling the little kid because he up here trying to put his best speech forward for Rhaenyra, telling him how much he would protect her and love others than other. And he called him a dumb cunt and so forth, right? I was like, please don't pick that douchebag. Please don't pick him. Tell him to shut the fuck up, okay? But Rhaenyra and the rest of the crowd think you funny. She's like, oh, I can learn to like him. No. This man had me like really turning my face up at Rhaenyra, okay? This particular episode, that little man got a little heart, more heart than everybody in that doggone room. But, something that the dude said to him made him pull the heckler made him little boy pull his sword out on him, right? He could barely handle that sword. The mug was so heavy and everything. And Rhaenyra like, look here, I ain't got time for this. I'm up out here. She didn't want to be at this doggone tour anyway, basically the suitor tour anyway. So she's like, I'm out. She was already talking about taking lunch, but no, she left the building, got on her ship, and sailed away, okay? All of a sudden, though, before she actually left out the building, we hear a sword slice through armor and flesh. Rhaenyra and them turned around. The little man had taken down Big Mouth Bullet. I took him down. Now he like, now say what you say. What you say? I can't protect her. I can't do what? Huh? That's what he was saying. Thought so. I was proud of the kid. Anywho, like I said, Rhaenyra didn't just take a lunch. She headed back to King's Landing without choosing her suitor. And apparently, 2 months earlier than they expected. They had set this tour up to last so much time, right? Then out of nowhere, Daemon sails above her ship with the red dragon. The red dragon clipped the doggone sail, shook through the doggone, ship to and fro, you know what I'm saying? She had been tossed around, but apparently seemed very happy to see her uncle. I was surprised. She was like, okay. The king, though, he wasn't happy to see his ass. And he wasn't happy to see her either with her early return. Daemon came in. I was like, what the fuck he do to his hair? He cut his hair off. And then he got his crown of thorns and shit on his head, right? His haircut was a horrible look for me, by the way. He's looked like Marty McFly, and I don't find that man attractive. A bleach blonde Marty McFly, Back to the Future. Look it up if y'all too young to know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he walked in. All the guards drew their swords on him. And then he pulled one out too. Like, said, go ahead, add this one to the chair. Apparently there was the sword he took from Rhaegar, who didn't fight. Rhaegar didn't fight at all. So, I don't even recall Rhaegar having a sword. But okay, he took that sword and told him to add it to the chair. So the king like, so you wearing a crown. I guess you call yourself king too. Daemon said, no, I don't call myself king, but the people do. You know what I'm saying? But I know who the true king is. So he bowed down to him, say, look, the stepstones and my crown is yours, right? So Viserys looked at Otto like, I know he lying. I know he playing with me. I know he got to be playing with me. He asked him where Corlys is at. He done sailed back to Driftmark. And basically holding down the fort of Stepstone is the dead bodies. The dead bodies and the crabs. They left so many, over 2,000 people in the wake. It's a sign for anybody else to come up to say, don't fuck with us, okay? They got to stink. That got to stink, right? Well, Alicent has had her second child. It's a boy, okay? They call him the third prince or something like that. Her and Rhaenyra still seem to have a lot of tension between each other. And they haven't even they're not back to being friends, but they're making small talk right now, right? And they're talking about her having suitors for her ceremony or her suitor ceremony. And Alicent is like, it's very romantic to have that many men fawning over you. And Rhaenyra said, girl, they ain't fawning over me. They want my title. They want my status. Ain't nothing romantic about being in prison. Having to be mated up to somebody just like a had a babies. That's all it is, right? And it was shade. But unintended shade to Alicent, because that's basically what she is for her daddy, a baby maker. Alicent, she knows exactly what her daddy made her do. Okay, she's now the king's prize or property, just to birth babies from. Okay, but I think. Sometimes it seems like she is loving the fact she's in that position. The other times she don't seem like she's too happy about it, right? And so but Rhaenyra like peeped in and she was like, oh my bad. I didn't mean the shade. I didn't mean it. And it seems that they could heal their old wounds finally after 4 years. Now, Daemon. Rhaenyra goes up to him and is like, what you got up your sleeve? What you doing here? You seem to be content at Dragonstone, which is her fucking castle. So why are you here, okay? Especially since he was banished already. The king banished him. So why are you really there, Daemon, right? Okay, Daemon said, well, another year has passed. And he wanted to come back and do something. I don't remember exactly what Daemon said he was going to do. But I'll use Queen Emma's death, y'all, for me to like keep up with the timeline. So it's 4 years past Queen Emma's death. I guess 4 years AD after that. Is that period? Okay, but anyway, well, being married is still Rhaenyra's biggest concern. But Daemon is like, chill. It's just business. You know what I'm saying? All politics. And Rhaenyra said, for me, or for you, maybe, or for men, maybe, but for women, it's a possible death sentence, because birthing babies, you may not make it. Daemon is like, well, if that's the case, then my bronze bitch would have been dead a long time ago. She ain't never gave him no babies, okay? And then was I the only one when he said bronze bitch that I was like, Daemon married to a black woman? Because who else is bronze in color? He said the bronze bitch. I don't know. It was a strange choice of metaphor or whatever, or adjective or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this show, I like this show, but there's some things I don't like about it, right? I told y'all before, I hated the fact that we were just in King's Landing. And I understand that this is a story about what could possibly have torn down the Targaryen house, as the narrator said in the beginning. But they and the Targaryens don't fuck with nobody else outside this goddamn King's Landing. It's so many other houses. First of all, I would like to see what's going on with Dragonstone and Daemon. Daemon is a fucking Targaryen. I want to know what's really going on over there. I want to know what's going on with his wife over at the Vale, and why we don't never get to see her, who the fuck she is. I want to know what was going on with Syria. We did see her come later on, but we still ain't got a deep explanation of why they are in the position that they're in. I want to see Corlys. Corlys is he's not a Targaryen, but he's Valyrian. He's married to a Targaryen. I want to see him and Princess Never Ever. What drama they got going on over in Driftmark, right? What's going on with their children who are half Targaryen, who actually carries the name Targaryen. I want to see the Sir Cole or Sir Harold have any life outside of these walls. We already know that Otto and Alicent don't. And after what happened in this episode, I'm like, where the fuck Otto gonna live? That's what I'm trying to figure out, right? That's what I'm missing from this show. I like Rhaenyra's character, but this show is very one-layered. It's very one-layered. Last week when we got to go to the hunt and we got to leave the keep, I was so happy to go meet some other people. We got Lannisters out here. We got Baratheons. We got the people over at Bravos. But we don't get to see them interacting with the crown other than coming in to kneel down in front of the king. Or they playing in a damn tourney. Like, we don't get to see the king being kingly. That's what I keep saying. And other than having dragons, at this point, I cannot understand why the Targaryens have so much power other than the lore that we've been told through the narration or the script. But they ain't did shit to me that would make me scared of them other than them having the fucking dragon. That's it, right? Now, this fucks me up that Corlys's men and his brother, Vaemon, they blame Daemon for their almost failure to battle at Stepstone, right? But the council is sitting here, even though Corlys is left, they all say it's Corlys' fault. They basically traded one tyrant, which was Dragar, or the crab feeder, for another tyrant, which they considered the sea snake. How was he being a tyrant? He ain't even down there at Stepstone. He done went back to his crib. But they figured he's salty. And his pride is hurt. And he gonna start showing us how much his pride is hurt. I was like, y'all some ungrateful bitches. But Beasley always got something to say smart. Beasley throws all the shade in that council, and I live for him. That old man cracks me the fuck up, right? Anyway, like I said, they saying he's still bitter about the king not marrying their little 3-year-old girl. It's 4 years now, so she's at least 16 now. Her brother Laenor was supposed to be 2 years younger than her, but I think they're making him older because maybe he was already out fighting in the war and he looked like he was at least 16, 17, 18. But I think they made him older than her instead of younger. But Princess Laena was supposed to have been the oldest, the first, and then 2 years later he was born. Anywho, Corlys got other plans for Laena. He's going to marry her to the house of Bravos. I I cannot remember who was from Bravos. Was it the one who was walking with Khaleesi? Was that who was from Bravos? Bravos. Somebody was called said Bravos, wasn't it? Anyway, Bravos itself, the House of Bravos, is from one of the free cities, okay? And they outside of the king's rule. So if I'm not mistaken, Bravos is the same place that Arya Stark went when she encountered the man with no face and got all her little training and shit and became the man with no face herself. That's what Bravos was, if I'm not mistaken. All the magical, mystical beings and shit live there. Now, Otto, he says that if Corlys does this, it's going to strengthen his house tenfold. So we need to fortify our own house by marrying off Rhaenyra. So the king, he should have thought about that when it was time for him to choose his wife. Now, I didn't want him to marry the bride child, the 2-year-old. I didn't want him to marry the 2-year-old. But he decided to marry Alicent, who came with no value to the throne other than being able to birth babies. But they didn't even know if she could, for real. You know what I'm saying? They was taking a chance on that. And I noticed in this particular episode, Rhaenyra was actually sitting at the table at the council. She wasn't serving. They had like a boy serving them. But she still really didn't have a voice. She didn't speak. She sat there with her head down. Rhaenyra leaves and goes to her quarters and finds a bag of clothes with a note inside. And it was a clue to a hidden tunnel in her room. This would have bothered me, okay, that somebody was able to slip into my motherfucking room unnoticed, which means that they could do that at any time. But instead, she was curious, right? She got dressed in the clothes and headed out. Who did she find? Daemon, looking like motherfucking Robin Hood or a thief in the night, one of the two, okay? So he got her out here in town with the common folk. You know, she kind of got a little skull cap on, trying to make it look like she ain't who she is. A couple people mistake her for a boy and what have her. But she out here walking with the common folk, the hookers and the beggars and the thieves, the same folk that he was just killing up with no mercy in the first episode, right? And she seems to be fascinated, not necessarily by the filth, but by the alleged freedom that these people have. So she out here, she get to see like a play and see firsthand that the common folk, you know, how they feel about her becoming queen and who should have been the rightful queen, Aegon, her little brother. Now, the queen herself, Alicent, she's at the crib bouncing, colicking babies, baby. That baby was hollering for no damn reason. And I'm like, where's her help? Why she ain't got no house servant to help her with these damn babies? Because that's what they did back in the day. And she's also tending to the king and his infected ass ulcers. Late at night, he calls her to his bedside into the late night hour. Like I said, this is what I was talking about. This is the point that the show is going to make us watch the king have sex with this teenage girl. And then we get to watch Rhaenyra have sex at the same time. It's too fucking much at the same fucking time, okay? And it was just like when the king climbed on top of her. It was just like silly. We missed her. And he just climbed on top of her and do his business. Felt like he's peeing on her. That's all I saw right there. And she just so disconnected and so like, I can't believe this is my life. And I felt sorry. I felt for that little girl. She's still a little girl. I don't give a fuck if she done had babies. She's still a little girl. She just turned 18. She's still a teenager. Then we get the aerial view of his gross ass back with all those fucking lesions and open wounds and shit. And I'm like, she gotta touch that nasty thing. Just, ugh. At this, I wrote it here, y'all. I'm not sure what the purpose of these scenes are for. Why are we seeing this shit? I wasn't getting it. Next, we see Daemon taking his niece into a fucking orgy house. Half the people in there look high as fuck. Then he removed her head covering to expose who she was. Okay? And they walking through, looking at different people fuck. And I kept saying, why are we fucking here? And I was getting mad. The anger was swelling up in me. Because I remember when I was molested, This is one way that shit got started. He would take me into a room, sit me down in front of a TV, and play dirty movies. Or he would give me magazines to show me pictures of people having sex in the magazines and shit like this. This was a way to prime me, to get my mind open, to make me loosen up. I was 7 fucking years old at the time, right? And no, I was 9. But the man I'm talking about, I was 9. And you know, but it was to intrigue me, make me feel like I was a willing participant. Because, you know, people's arousals can spark at a really young age, you know. But so it makes you feel like he was a willing participant. So it made me nervous for her. I was like, why the fuck is he's taking his goddamn niece into a fucking whorehouse? They just had a whole discussion about her not wanting to be married and how it could be a death sentence, you know, having babies. And from that, he took that maybe she just need to get fucked. Maybe she just need to find some fucking pleasure. When that, I mean, sex sometimes go hand in hand with marriage. But that ain't what fucking marriage is all about. But in his mind, she only scared of marriage. She only scared about birthing babies because she don't know how to fuck. I was getting so mad. I was cussing out George R.R. Martin, the creator of this fucking book. And then he up here telling her how fucking is pleasurable. And he kept stressing the word fucking and fucking. And, you know, free people like to fuck. They just get what they want. They take what they want. No, we don't take shit. That's called rape, motherfucker. But he was like, if you gonna do this, we do that. And she's all like a kid in the fucking candy store. And then he started kissing his niece. I said it in the first episode that he wanted to fuck his niece. Some of the women in the whole house recognized who she was. Of course, fuck, everybody recognized who she was. And they started fucking. He threw her up against the wall, turned her around, and fucked her from behind. His niece. And then when he was done fucking her, she wanted to kiss some more. You know, cuddle, and he left her. Took off. Running in the streets. And I was like, boy, she better not get pregnant. Because if she do, I bet the rumor in the streets gonna be as Damon's. If she ever get pregnant, I don't give a fuck who she get pregnant by. The rumor in the streets gonna be as Damon's. Because these motherfuckers saw them. They ran into Sir Herwin on the way in there. He knew there was Damon walking behind her ass, okay? So now that he has awakened her arousal, he takes off. Leaves her half naked in fucking Babylon and shit, right? Some kid follows after her when she runs out to follow him. Or the worst, back to the castle. When she go back to the castle, Cole was standing at her door because he just saw her go to bed. You know, how the fuck you back out here in the hallway? You know, he confused as shit, you know. Where the fuck she come from? I said, this is predictable George R.R. Martin can be. This is how predictable it can be. Because now she's going to tease him. And I knew it. She teased Cole and played with him and everything until she drew him into the room to fuck him. Okay. All of a sudden, from her walking through a damn whorehouse and getting fucked by her uncle, now she woman art thou loosed. Because her uncle turned her on by kissing and fondling and fucking her. So now she finna run in here and fuck Cole right afterwards. They didn't even bother to bathe. And the kid that followed her came and snitched. Yes, he sure did. He's like, hey, she was down in the whorehouse, right? And I was like, oh, did they also say that she was in the whorehouse with Damon? Yes, they did. Somehow that kid was connected to Masseria. Because afterwards, he ran back in there and gave Masseria the coin that Otto gave him for snitching. Okay? Why Masseria and Damon ain't together no more, they didn't explain. But Damon was on her floor in her brothel at this time, right? Drunk as a motherfucking skunk. And just from the conversation, you could tell they wasn't together no more. He kept calling her a common whore and everything this and third. And she's like, I'm always saving your ass. But I ain't no damn hoe. I found other ways to make money. And that's to be a snitch, right? Okay. So anyway. So the kid, he did sure that she was with Damon. Because Otto walked his ass in there. You know, Otto always telling the king everything. To tell the king, your daughter was out there in the pleasure house with your brother doing the damn thing. Okay? It's unbecoming of a fucking princess and a fair maiden, because she's supposed to be a fucking virgin whenever she gets married, right? And the king is like, what you mean? What behaviors they doing? What behaviors do you think they do at a fucking pleasure house, sir? What behaviors do you think they do? According to Damon, y'all used to go to pleasure house together, so you know what goes on there, right? They ain't playing chess. That's not what they doing. The king say, lies. Whoever told you that is telling lies. You know what I'm saying? Allison outside of the room ear hustling. I was like, she finna run to Rhaenyra and find her in her cold, but that didn't happen. But that's what would happen to me. They tried to make Rhaenyra and Cole scene so romantic. I was not impressed at all. I was not intrigued. I was not happy. No. Anyway, the king said, you dead set on the Iron Throne, ain't you? That you gonna disparage my motherfucking daughter. And I was like, why he ever acting like this ain't the Targaryen's way? Even Otto said it. Y'all know this is your way. But he said, but I can see right through you, Otto. You a cunning little man. He said, but I was wrong. Oh no, he said, did he say, no, that wasn't at the point he said it. I'm gonna go back to it later, right? Okay, so anyway, Allison didn't go run to Rhaenyra like I said. She actually sent the message through Cole for Rhaenyra to meet her out by the red tree. Allison confronts her head on and Rhaenyra denies it. Full stop. That's a vile accusation. I can't believe you think I do some shit like that. She basically gaslit the fuck out of Allison. Okay. Allison's like, you know how y'all Targaryens are. Y'all motherfuckers a bit freaky. So tell me the truth. Okay, just tell me the truth. The truth is not what she's serving you, baby girl. The truth is not what she's serving you. She even swear it on her mother's dead body. I was like, Rhaenyra, you ain't shit. You really ain't shit. Okay, anyway, Daemon brings his drunk ass into the kingdom. Why he showed up there, I don't fucking know. But he dragged him to the front of the throne by the king. The king confronted him about it. He didn't deny it. He wasn't out there lying about it like Rhaenyra just did with Allison, right? He said, well, so what? We were in brothels at her age. What the fuck? It's better that she have her first time with me than with some whore. I was like, really? Was it really better though? Really? Only thing the king was worried about, not about that was her uncle, but just how she wasn't a virgin anymore. You have defiled her. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna marry her now? Daemon said, fuck the people. You the king. Lie to them. Tell them what they want you want her. The king said, I should disinherit you and her. I should disinherit her the same way I disinherited you. But Daemon said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll marry her. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You said I could have anything when I gave you my crown. When I surrendered Stepstone over to you. Fuck, get me to marry her. Shit. You know how we do. Keep it in the family like we always have. And then the king said, but you already fucking married. He said, and we got family members that took second wives, right? Together, me and her can run this city. So the king said, oh, so that's it. You ain't lusting off my daughter. It's the crown that you want. Is he more offended that he want the crown instead of did his daughter? You want him to want the daughter? No, he wanted her to. He banished him again back to his old ugly wife again, and we still ain't seen him. And then Allison, like I said, she knows of the situation. She tries to convince him that Daemon is lying, you know, and Rhaenyra is the one being truthful. And the only reason why Daemon is lying because he's trying to bring you down. The king believes it, you know, because like I said, king ain't got no fucking thought process at all. Well, it's punishment for her deceit, is what they like to call it, and her uncle molesting her. He's going to force her to marry her cousin, Laenor Targaryen. She agreed, but she only agrees if he checks Otto, because it's clear that Otto has ambition for his grandson Aegon on the throne. And, you know, Viserys had already promised her that he would never supplant her. And so Viserys is so fucking easily swayed. He calls Otto in. This motherfucker always talk like everybody know what he talking about. He started out saying 5 days. Otto was like, the fuck you talking about? 5 days? What the fuck that mean, right? I was saying the same thing. Then he goes on this full story about something his ancestors or his grandfather did before he got to the point, right? he went all the way back to the day that Otto was named the Hand, and basically accused him of having something to do with his grandfather's death. Like Otto had been plotting it all along, just as he is now. And it was right now, at this moment, that he realized when Alicent came into his side when Queen Emma died, that was calculated. I was like, it took you 4 years to realize that, you stupid fuck. This king is stupid. He's stupid. Now he angry. You know, he always do shit emotional out of when he angry. So he removed Otto as the Hand. I don't know who's gonna be your first hand now, but he removed Otto as the Hand. I was like, okay, he was vying for the throne for his grandson. But this is actually one time that he was not being self-servant. But, you know, your brother screwed your niece, you know, and you being the blithering fool that you are, you being manipulated by them all. So he did send the doctor in to Rhaenyra, though, Rhaenyra's chambers, to make her drink a little special tea to prevent any pregnancy. It was basically liquid Plan B. That's what it was. I say it's probably McCrum. You know, they put McCrum on everything. And she sits there looking like, no, this nigga didn't. Now, we didn't see her drink it. We didn't see her drink it. So, child. We'll see what's going to happen next. That's the end of this episode, but it got on my damn nerves, child. It got on my nerves. Y'all let me know what y'all thought down in the comment section. This is called King of the Narrow Sea. I realized that every episode is named after Daemon or Aegon. They very rarely name any of these episodes after Rhaenyra, who is the queen. All right, I think my food is here. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.